time to strap in and get ready. The leaders in NRL SuperCoach are incoming. Bringing you the ultimate insight to help you win your leagues and climb up the rankings. You're now listening to the Insight NRL Show with your hosts, Brain, Metrics, and Whisperer.
G'day guys, welcome back to the Insight NRL Show. Tuesday night is Q&A night for our Patreon subscribers, so welcome to the live. Jump in the comments, let us know what you're thinking this week. We've got tons of questions to cover. Josh, here you go, mate. How's the teams and the trades looking this week? It's a bit of an open week this week, I reckon. A lot of people are looking for upgrades. Yeah,
very boring. We'll post the team trades and write up on Patreon probably tonight or tomorrow. Very boring. Post on Twitter today. Like, it just feels like a week where people are maybe forcing trades and trying to find suboptimal upgrades, or like trying to find value where maybe value doesn't lie. We've seen that sort of backfire a little bit this week. Guys like Tom Kant, Dylan Egan didn't play well last week. Like, benched, Herbie injured. It's going to be a little bit interesting to see the trade trends this week. But overall, my trades are pretty boring, one down, one up kind of affair, which is sort of bread and butter. How about yourself?
I have a bit of money in the bank, so I'm a mess this week, I'll be completely honest. I was initially coming into this week going, nope, Gutho and Ponga, they're gone. And now I'm like, oh, do I hold them and just upgrade elsewhere? Like, and you've maybe talked me into potentially holding Gutho. Like, I've been back and forth on that move all week, and I'm really unsure, to be honest. But we'll find out what that looks like on Thursday Friday as late as possible. I've got an extra day to ruminate on that, considering the first game's Friday 6 p.m. for Magic Round. So no Thursday footy. Shattered.
And the AFL game on Thursday is a stinker too. It's like North Melbourne versus Essendon or some shit.
Shout out to Horse, the Essendon supporter. Terrible game. Fair call. Look, there's a million different ways you can go with a few of the guys out. Like, I did a TLT episode, just purely ins and outs for TLT, which we'll continue to do each week just to kind of free up the Wednesday night show more so. But like, when you look at the amount of ins and outs that are not regular, like we've got Hubner now benched and probably potentially a sell if he stays benched. You got Kant, Fafita, McLean all dropped. You've got Stewart, Egan, Burns, and Willison now all starting. No Latu Fainu, which hurts my soul. And then KL Iro is back with a name change. So shout out to him. There's a bit going on, like you can, I'm looking at centre wing and 2RF as my two main kind of upgrade centres. Really, I could probably move on a Hubner or an Egan. Maybe I'll hold him for another week. I could also upgrade Rob Toya this week to nearly anyone that I want. But there's so many options. I could follow your route and just go with Mulatalo, Josh. I don't know how I feel about it, though.
Not allowed
I'll just
to.
go.
No,
I'll find a pod.
Yeah, do it. Trying to think of some random one. I'll find one. I'll spruik it on X for a 20-point talk. I did it with Lua and I did it with Mulatalo as well. I mean, the Egan stuff's kind of weird. Like, I was pretty set on selling him, but maybe it's just like the opposite. He's been named off the bench, start. Now he's named to start off the bench.
Gets off the bench. Yeah, it could be. Shane Flanagan just playing maybe checkers when everyone else is playing chess. Who knows? All right, let's move into the questions, guys. And before we do, obviously, if you want your questions answered every week, you can become a Patreon subscriber. It's less than $10 a week, $10 a month, I should say, like $2.50 a week or less. The link is in the description below to become a member, get access to the WhatsApp and a lot of other cool stuff that we do throughout the week. Let's get into Lorenzo's first question, mate. It's a hard hitter to start. Who's your top halfback target? Cleary, Moses, or Hughes? I know people are maybe going a little bit cold on Cleary. It's funny, isn't it, what a week of football can do?
Yeah. I don't know. Like, filter by average. I mean, Adam Reynolds is the top halfback with a decent sample size of games. Obviously, Moses had the 98. Cherry Evans, Fogg, Nico, and Cleary all the way down in 6th. He's 2 points better than our boy Isaiah Katoa. And Jerome Hughes is actually only averaging 61. It's not like, these top targets are ranked 6 and 8 in terms of total average. it probably still for me is just Cleary. I guess like I've got the most confidence in him week in, week out. You would imagine Moses plays Origin. You would imagine, or you don't imagine Hughes definitely doesn't. But I don't know. For me, it's still Cleary. Like what he did last week or the week before last really just solidifies it for me. Does nothing, scores 120.
Yeah.
A guy like Nico has to do the world to score 70. Hughes is just sharing touches with, I was going to say two other people now in Pappenhausen and Munster. Moses, yeah, but you're buying him for what, 2 weeks? Round 9, round 10, then he's obviously got 11, then Origin, we would imagine. So for me, it's still probably Cleary, just without the least amount of question marks over him.
It's hard not to say Cleary, really, isn't it? Like, you're looking at Moses, but we also need to look at the fact that, yes, Moses goal kicked a little bit at the back end of that last game, but Lomax is due back in 2 weeks? So
yeah, 11, yeah.
I'd assume that Lomax would cut. Well, the word is that Lomax was going to get the kicking over Moses before the injury anyway. So I'd assume Lomax comes back and kicks. I'd assume also Lomax probably plays Origin. Mitchell Moses doesn't appeal to me at all, personally. I think we're looking at the game against the Tigers, and he absolutely had the game of his fucking life. And he always does against the Tigers. He plays that game really well, the Easter Monday game every year. So for me, Moses is a fade. I have Hughes and I have Cleary, and I think they're the two top targets for me. I'm very happy with a Cleary-Hughes halfback combination. So Cleary 1, Hughes 2, Moses 3 for me. Harry has the next one. Currently have Jade. Still a lot of people holding Jaden Campbell. I understand that. And Dwayhe at 5'8". Do we think that Ponga to Dearden via Jaden Campbell's fullback duel is the play? With the plan then to go backwards to JC up to 5'8" and get rid of Dewey to a centre wing. I guess the question from Harry is, do I make that move or do I trade Ponga, or have I made my bed with it? There's a bit going on here. What are your thoughts? Ponga to Dearden? I
mean, reading social media today, some journalist I'd never heard of reckons that there's a very, very good chance that it's 1 Munster, 6 Dearden, 7 Cherry Evans for Origin, and it does make sense. I mean, KP's been horribly out of form. Walsh is injured. If it happens, it really just kills Dearden, doesn't it?
It does. Let me tell you what, that's great for Ponga. But let me read you my response when you've told me that in our chat. Surely fucking not. I don't see that happening at all.
Like, do we forget that he's probably like one of the best fullbacks in the world if he played there?
If he played there, yeah, but he doesn't. Like, when's the last time he played fullback for more than 2 weeks?
Yeah, true.
Years. Like when you don't train in a position and play in a position for that long, surely there's a bit of rust there. You can't just pull the bloke out after fucking 10 years of 5'8" and go, hey, play some fullback for the estate in the most intense game of football ever. I don't know.
Ben Hunt seems to be able to do it in the middle every year, so you just grow another leg when you play for Queensland.
Yes,
no,
exactly.
I just think now, I don't know how much credence I want to put into no-name journalists, but I don't know. I mean, obviously, I thought Dearden was the standout 5'8" to buy, so I can't really jump off him, especially after you put up a 150. But I just think I don't know. I just don't know if I can sell KP, not against Souths, and they're rubbish.
KP is a hold for me, a reluctant hold. I don't love it. I actually hate it, but I think you just have to. You've made your bed, to answer your question, Harry. You've made your bed with Ponga. I think you just need to accept it. You look at the Knights' next 3 games, and you look at the fact that the Knights do not have a bye until like fucking God knows when. Like they have a really nice run of games coming up in the next month. So
you got another 10 weeks of Ponga before a bye. It's Souths at Suncorp, which is a neutral game. It's the Titans at McDonald Jones and it's Parramatta at McDonald Jones. Like, I don't think it could have been any 3 better fixtures for KP. And if he does want to play Origin, then fuck me, now it's time to do something. And
yeah,
I think you just write it out personally, and that's what I'm doing. 538k Ponga though is just not fun to look at.
I mean, we got people asking, and shout out to Aman, who is like, "Do I just buy Ponga?
I'd rather buy than sell."
Yeah, 100%. You know, you're getting him at near bottom. Like, he's got to break even at what, 70 this week? Like, it's not.
So
yeah, fuck. I mean, He only loses 30K if he gets that 45 that we
What the
probably
fuck's
expect him
happened,
to
man?
get.
He's got 105 and a half.
I know. It's the team. It's obviously I'm not sure what the coaching is and the strategy goes into their attack, but it just looks lost to me. They've got Ponga playing one off the ruck. They're like using him as a first receiver type scenario where he doesn't get any space or any room to create. He's not sweeping on fullback plays. If anything, Fletcher Sharpe is the guy that's doing a lot of the sweeping on their left side plays. So I'm really struggling to get an idea on what they're doing. So anyway, I'm holding as well. Edge has got the next one. Who is better to own over the next 10 weeks? Pick one from each pair. All right, we've got a versus. Katoa versus Olakau'atu. I'm going to go Katoa.
Yeah, I haven't prepped for these questions, so I don't know if like one team is like badly in buy debt, but for me, it's Katoa.
Olakau'atu, Manly play all three major buys, right? So, I mean, if Olakau'atu, doesn't play Origin, then maybe he's got a better schedule, considering that the Storm missed 12 and 15.
Yeah, but I don't really care about major buys. What are the minis like?
I'm pretty sure that their Manly minis are pretty ordinary from memory. Maybe they miss one or two. So
look, Hamole, pull him up. Season summary or season stats. So Manly play 13, miss 16, miss 19. Yeah, no, I don't want Hamole.
Very similar to the Sharks, the Dogs as well. Miss a couple of minis, so not ideal. Yeah, Katoa. Lucas versus Fermor. Lucas for me.
I'm very not confident. I'd be shocked if Fermor wasn't picked for Origin.
Yeah, I agree. I'm in that camp as well. And obviously Lucas with the Knights buy, just same applies to Ponga, except Lucas's base is much better, so more reliable. Hines versus Hughes. And assuming none of them play Origin. Yeah, fair call. All right, so that's the three we're going with. Blake, first of all, happy Magic round, boys. Are you all attending this year? Sadly not.
Sadly not, no. I just started a new job, but I don't want to be taking extended leave, and you have a new kid, so... Yeah,
I've got 2 young kids at home. Shout out to my... I hope my wife's watching, because I'm taking one for the team and I'm staying at home. If so, are we having beers, or where are we having beers? That's a Matrix question, mate. He is king of the beers, so
Matrix
I can guarantee you that Matrix will be there.
Beers to make up for the two of us not being there. No, I definitely want to... I was supposed to go last year, and then I don't know what happened, why we didn't go. Oh, you had 6 kids, that's right.
I had a sick kid, and I had to sell my ticket last year.
Yeah,
fucking kids, man.
And then, I definitely do want to go next year, though. Absolutely.
Yeah. We'll organise something next year for sure. We'll talk about that a little bit closer. Corey had a question about, are we creating a Patreon like WhatsApp chat for Magic Round? And we'll definitely do that for you guys, so you guys can meet up and talk shit about us behind our backs.
I'll be putting it on mute because I'll be very
Chase has got the next one. Is going Dylan Egan to Savala worth it if I can upgrade Jenkins to Herbie? I'm going to say yeah.
That's pretty much exactly what I'm doing. I mean, I can trade Hubner, but it just means I have to sell Nickel. Basically, like my trade dilemma is Egan to Hugo, and then Seyfarth to Katoa, or Egan or Hubner to Savala, and Nicholson to Katoa. So I'm in the same boat, but yeah, I definitely do think it's worth it. 61 break even. We did see him play near enough 65 minutes the week before last and pump out like 50, which is great. Like he's putting up good numbers. Like he's not a pressing sell. But I do think that first game where he started was a bit of an anomaly with the massive BP. Obviously scored the try. So he put up about 70 BP that game. But from memory, he was like 25 after 19 minutes on an edge, which is just like historic PPMs for no attack. And yeah, like he doesn't offer a whole lot. I don't know how long Flano, like whether he wants to keep him there full time, but no, I think if you're going one down, one up, then yeah, Dylan Egan's fine.
Egan or Hubner, I think I can both get around him if it gets you a Jenkins to Herbie or a Jenkins to Carraz.
Hubner, like they have the same break evens, but Hubner for me has 2 back-to-back affected HIA games. Sorry, he has a 20 in there from last week, and that was 20 in 20 minutes. So for me, like if you put up with 2 weeks of pain with Hubner, like 2 weeks of like maybe losing 30K, you'll make that back and some in probably between like now and around like 14, 15. So
that all depends on how he's going to be planned to use too, because he's been named on the bench this week with Jai Arrow in the 13. So that's not ideal.
Yeah, but he was never putting up massive minutes anyway. Like he was putting up
50.
59, 52, 63, 47. I still think he's good for 50 off the bench.
Okay. Jacob's next one is Ponga likely to play fullback for Queensland? Look, people are saying, and I know that we spoke about the journalist who says that Munster might go to the one. I still think he does. I think Ponga plays fullback for Queensland. And we remember the year when he didn't get picked and Walsh got picked or whatever, and then Ponga played in the 14 jersey for one game. And like Ponga came on the field with 20 minutes to go and just tore New South Wales to shreds. Like, we need to remember that I don't think Ponga's performance is off the back of poor Ponga ability. It's based on the coaching and the team around him is the reason as to why he's not scoring.
I think
well
he could take the game by the scruff of the neck a little bit more. I don't think it's
he could.
He's,
for sure.
He's solely.
He's not at his best. Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Is there a world where they just go hammer at fullback?
Yeah, probably.
Got plenty of center options.
Gang Gagai could come in and play center pretty comfortably.
Gagai, you can move Val into the centers. Then you've got Murray Salonga, you got Cobbo, you got Oates, Jesse Arthur somehow. Like, there's plenty of options.
It sounded like you said Oates, like Corey Oates.
Oh, Hall Oates?
Yeah. I'm here for it if you want to get Corey Oates. Was it Kiss FM, Corey Oates? So you can get him on. That's for sure.
Oh, is he got a radio gig now, does he?
Yeah, he's got a radio gig. Yep. It's actually quite interesting. Bloke's got a personality, that's for sure.
Look, I don't. Honestly, I don't. If you had to say to me right now, does he play? I say no. Right now. But 2 good games, I think he could definitely put him back in the fold.
Look at the next 3 games they've got. It's like, fuck, surely he can put up a game in that and prove himself. But yeah.
Okay. As for who plays fullback for the Knights, fuck me.
The question is it Fletcher Sharpe? And do you think he gets the goal kicking? I think
yes.
We spoke about this being probably Gagai getting the goal kicking.
Gagai. I think he kicked last year at times as well. And I don't know, like, do you think they break up the halves combination for the 18th time this year?
Probably. I mean, it seems to be the trend. I don't know. I think Fletcher Sharpe's. Sure, I think Fletcher Sharpe's a 6, but I don't know who plays fullback. I actually don't see a fullback in this team.
Will Price, what's he doing? Oh, he's over at the Super League, isn't he? Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't. I'd have to go look at the depth chart. Like, I'm not too well versed in Knights grade.
Remember the guy that was it the Knights bought from the Sharks? What's his fucking name? 2 years ago. Played fullback for the Knights and disappeared off the face of the earth after about 10 rounds and then got dropped a cup.
Played fullback for the Knights.
He was good at the Sharks, but he was never obviously beating Will Kennedy. He played, who am I thinking of?
Who are we talking about?
I'm going to find out by the end of the show. It's going to annoy the shit out of me.
30.
Just look at Knights top 30 from maybe 2 years ago.
Last year, maybe?
Or last year or 2 years ago. Can't remember exactly when it was, but he came from the Sharks.
Great quality.
Yeah. Anyway, you look that up. We'll work on it.
Sure.
But Bane Wennett's got the next one. So the start of this question I cut off because sadly it was a bit too long for the screen. But we doubted his Fermor pick last week, and he wanted to let us know that we doubted his Fermor pick, and it came in. So this week he's got another pick for us, and it's Bilius Burns, he calls him. Sharks left side, 2RF, averaging 61.4. Priced at a 337 on the bubble, great base. Sharkies seem to let the injured players take a couple of weeks to recover. And I can get around that. I understand that obviously they've taken their time with Euro. Bit of a different scenario with Euro being a, serious hamstring injury. That's usually the better side of 6 weeks. So, but how long do we get for Billy Burns? How long? How many?
2 to 4 weeks as per NRL Physio. And that was posted on the 27th of April.
Wilton will be back apparently in round 11, but is a chance for round 10. I'm probably just going to say round 11 if they're going to be conservative. So you've got, 2 weeks of Billy Burns, cash gen, which is going to make you what? What's he got, a negative 40 break even this week?
This is the thing though, like, sure. Did you buy Thomas Kant? Did you buy Hiroti? Did you buy Shibasaki in round 3? Did you buy Purdue? Did you buy Tamale? Like, if you've got 46 trades, by all means, go for it. But the problem is, like, these things pop up all the time. No. Yeah.
I don't. No. I'm not. I mean, draft wheels up. That's fine. I'm not keen in classic. Maybe I'm speaking from my scenario where I've used all my boosts and I haven't max traded, but I've definitely used more trades than I would normally do. So maybe that's where I'm speaking from. Look, if you've held a few boosts and you haven't chased all of the cashies, Billy Burns, great shout for a couple of weeks. I think he gets 2 weeks of cash gen, probably makes 120K. But again, you've got to look at it. 120K for 2 trades. Is it worth it?
Okay, the only names from 2023 NRL Night squad that I could maybe consider: Bailey Hodgson,
Mm-hmm.
Anari Tuala.
You bought him, man. I remember watching your show in 2023, and you had him at fullback to start the year.
That was my good. I came like 100th. I don't know.
I'm 100% certain you had him to start the year at fullback. And
okay,
am I getting it backwards in terms of him going from the Knights to the Sharks instead?
Are you talking about like Chris Randall when he started over Braille?
Fuck no. He played fullback. I'm going to work this out. This is going to fucking do my head.
I'm so rattled.
Fullbacks, Sharks, 2023. Anyway, we'll work this out.
I played for the Sharks. I was looking for the Knights.
Oh, no. I'm not sure if I'm right or wrong now, to be honest.
Okay, I'll have a look. Keep looking at the Sharks stuff whilst you keep going.
Okay. Alex has 2 questions for us. One, thoughts on Starling to Hughes? Got Brayley as hooker 1 and Can't to AFB is the second trade up. Yeah, absolutely for both. I'm fine with them. I'm assuming, obviously, you're using Sand Smith dual to go Starling to Hughes. Honestly, like, are we looking at Sand Smith as just very playable every single week now? Like, Harry Grant owners could have just happily held and played Sand Smith. Hindsight's fantastic, isn't it? But what do you think about these two? Starling to Hughes, AFB, Can't to AFB.
Yeah, I'm also keen. Starling to Hughes, of course, got Bradley hooker 1 and Can't to AFB. I mean, you can do them both, of course. And I'm actually pretty keen on Ponga and Gutho, especially with this halves combination now. I think he has to get more ball.
Yeah. Okay. Actually, no, it was the Knights. Knights fullback. Remember when Kalen Ponga got moved to 6, right? Mm-hmm. That year. And then they moved Kalen Ponga back to fullback, and then they punted the fullback to fucking New South Wales Cup. People in the comments are going to be going, it's obvious. I swear it's obvious. He's a blonde hair guy. Then he went off to the Super League. You had him in your team.
I'm rattled. I'm actually rattled.
Mate, I'm telling you. I'm fucking telling you. This is going to do my head in. This is going to.
I'll look. Kalen Ponga for 5'8". Okay,
have a look at the start of the year. It was 2023. I'm pretty sure, or 2022.
Yeah, I think it might be 2022.
Where not when they moved Ponga to 5'8". They had a fullback that they got from the Sharks. All right. Is Starling a more priority sell than Gutho? Alex wants to know.
Yes. I think we hold Gutho.
Yep. Tim wants to know, want to trade out Gutho? It's funny. Want to trade out Gutho? Who to bring in out of Pappy or Drinky? Already have Teddy.
Take your Drinky hat off and just admit that it's Pappy.
It probably is, to be fair. It probably is. Look, it just depends on what situation you're in as well. Like for me, my rank, I'm in 23,000th or something. So for me, I'm going to attack the buy period quite hard, which means I'm probably going to avoid bringing in anybody from now that isn't available in around 12 and 13. So for me, I'd probably trade Drinky in based on my situation. But if your rank's okay or you're a head-to-head player or whatever, then Pappy's probably the play, much more reliable play. He just misses round 12. So just depends on the schedule and how hard you want to play it based on the schedule. So James, with the next one, with the ongoing Plath injury, is it worth hopping off to McInnes? Who's the best downgrade option this week is the second part of the question. Savala, Stewart, Burns, or Naden? Let's answer the first part. Hold or sell Plath?
Feet are weird, aren't they? Like
super unreliable.
Lachlan Miller.
Lucky Miller. That's who I'm talking about.
He was that guy. He was him. Yeah, he was great.
I feel so much better now. Yeah.
I'm going through the rugby league report, the rugby league project for round 1, 2023. Lockie Miller.
Yeah.
Oh, he played rugby. He was an Olympian. Yeah, him. That guy.
Yeah.
He'll be a trivia question in like 10 years. Okay, sorry, James.
Plath to McInnes?
Plath.
Hold or sell Plath?
It was reported as a non-contact foot injury, and then he was
but
a
it's
chance
not
to
Liz
come
Frank.
Back. So is it plantar fasciitis?
It has to be something to do.
It's like a 2 week. It's like a 2 week thing. I think someone in the AFL had it. And they were back within 2 weeks.
I think hold if you came this far. I mean, he must be at hooker.
If it's Sand Smith, then I think you just wait 1 more week. If he's out next week, then probably sell. But I think you just hold.
I'm in the hold camp. Yeah,
McInnes is whatever. McInnes is just a 5-point better Plath, isn't he?
Pretty much. Yeah, not worth the trade, that's for sure. The second part of the question, who's the best downgrade option this week? Savala, Stewart, Burns, or Naden? We can take Naden out of that straight away. we've talked about Billy Burns already and about our thoughts on that. Depends how many trades you've used and boosts and how much cash you've made.
Hamish Stewart. Ew. Fuck.
Starting at lock this week, but I reckon there's going to be a very late switch. Jack DeBellin will start.
Of course there is.
Yeah.
Of course there is.
Savala's the answer.
No, I think it's Savala. I think Sam Walker's wants to be back in 6 weeks. So you got another 5 weeks of price rises, which is great. Got a decent score in his little rolling average for a little bit. I don't expect the world. Probably fuck Sharpe a little bit, but that's probably the best, probably the only downgrade option that I'm comfortable with.
Yeah, I tend to agree. Lauren's got the next one. Front row forward or 2RF downgrade from Horsburgh to upgrade centre wing to Herbie to cover the bye period. Fullback not playing Origin to cover the bye, and then already has Drinky Ponga Gutho. So 2 parts to this question. First of all, we need a prop or an edge downgrade for Horsburgh so that she can get up to Herbie. I don't know whether I love trading Horsburgh at this point.
No, I think he's shown me enough.
Savala is the answer. We've just talked about the fact that Savala is probably the best downgrade option at that.
I'm not doing Horsburgh Savala.
No, I think Horsburgh to Willison. Oh, I mean, if you have the jewels, I'm assuming.
I just want to see Willison first.
Yeah, you're not convinced he plays 80. I'm probably with you.
No.
Do we need him to play 80?
Mate, he's pretty good.
Yeah.
He's a bit of a shit price though. He's like high 400s, isn't he?
Yeah, 480.
460, 460, 470. So yeah, I mean, if he was like 380, I'd be like, yeah, take a punt. He's Herbie.
Depends how much money you need to get to Herbie.
Like, I don't think Herbie's like a lights out must have. I think he's a really, really nice premium to have, but he's not like someone I'm ripping at. He scored 72 last week, which is what he's averaging this week, and that was with a try. So it's not like he's putting up like, Marzhew round 1-2 numbers without tries. I honestly think you can probably just not make a trade.
Yeah,
and I did the same thing. It's just that I can get safe path to Eli Gutho, which feels like a no-brainer.
Yeah, tough. I don't like downgrading Horsburgh. We've talked about Horsburgh potentially being a sell moving forward, and we're looking at the PPM at the moment, and it just doesn't scream I need to go right now. So I think you can probably just ride it out. And see if, he gets
if he's not named round 1, you don't need to go ever. My concern was the role of Hosking and the fact that Horsburgh, he may have been scoring very well, but he was playing pretty dog shit in real life, and he cost the Raiders, 2 games in 3 weeks or even back-to-back weeks. And we know what Ricky's like, but it seems like he's just running Horsburgh into the ground, which is cool. And if he's not picked for Origin, he doesn't become a sell at all. It's just, that elusive round 12 when we find out Origin teams.
Yeah, that's right. Jono with the next one, Fermor versus Lucas. This a couple of people asked this one. So Fermor 550k negative 20 break even from memory. Lucas definitely, I wouldn't say an absolute must have, but schedule says the Knights and the Cowboys probably have the 2 nicest schedules over the next 3 months. So my pick's Lucas, just due to the fact that we know that, even in the games that they've lost and games they've looked poor, last week he came back from a hammy and played his 80 minutes and scored 62, doing absolutely fucking nothing. Like, for me, Fermor needs to do a lot more than Lucas personally to score 70. That's my pick. I don't know. How do you feel?
Yeah, Fermor's got like a lot of 50s in there, which are a little bit mixed because there were games where he did play at, at center and stuff. But the draw for Lucas is just so good. Like, I'm tempted to go him over Katoa purely down to the fact that the Knights don't play 12, and comparing those numbers. Lucas 63 and 76 minutes with 1 line break assist, which I believe off the top of my head, it's like 8 points. So we're saying he scored 55 in 76 minutes, first game back.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Pretty handy.
In that game in New Zealand where it was quite low scoring, only had he actually had no evading stats. So no tackle busts, no offloads, 11 runs, 44 tackles. So BP probably slightly higher than usual. But for me, it's still Lucas because I can guarantee you won't be playing Origin, whereas Fermor I can't.
The argument for Fermor is that they have 2 of the 3 major buys as buys anyway, the Titans. So, like, for Origin players for the Titans, it's actually a pretty friendly buy schedule. They play all the minis. But, like, I think we're looking at the break even and the cheaper price as a justification of picking him when you've got to pick on points at that price. I reckon you've got to look at Fermor versus Lucas and go, who's going to score more points for me by the end of the season? It's not a cash grab to go Fermor 550 to 750 and then trade him out. Like, you're keeping him for the year, basically, with the points that he's putting up.
It's a really gross price, which is why I'm not loving Willison, because it's like it's not a price that screams cash cow, but it's also not a keeper potential.
Fair.
Yeah, and you also have to ask yourself whose coach is more cooked, which is a bit hard when AOB is in the question. But like, would you be surprised to see Khalees Haas, Chris Randall on an edge next week with Fermor at centre? I wouldn't.
No, but also you're looking at whose coach is more cooked, Adam O'Brien, who has 700 different halves pairings, or Des Hasler, who just dropped David for feeder.
Oh, no, that's what I mean. Like, I can't believe that AOB is not the more cooked coach. He's probably the 16th most cooked coach in the league, only second to Des Hasler.
Wild scenes. Fucking insane. Final trade options are either Gutho to Drinky or Brimson to Dearden. Neither.
I love how everyone's on Dearden now after one good game.
That's my concern. And props to you for the call, because you fucking nailed it last week. But would I buy him off the back of that now? No. Like, I just, like, he's going to be fine and he'll score well. But is he going to score 100 every week? No. And am I buying based on last week's points? Maybe. Brimson, every chance of going to fullback as well when Foran's back next week. Yeah. Like, do you really want to trade Brimson this week and then see Team List Tuesday next Tuesday at 4 p.m. and throw your phone through a window because Brimson gets named at fullback? Also,
for as good as the Cowboys are attacking, let's not forget how fucking good the Warriors are in defense. Like, I know it's a Suncorp, but fuck, like, the Warriors are a very good defensive team. And it's weird with Dearden because, like, this is going to sound very egotistical from me, but you needed to predict a big score against the Titans and not jump on the back of it. I think, like, if you were going to go him, you had to think, all right, a big score is coming against the Titans. Let's jump on that now. I guess it's similar to like Mulatalo. It's like a 60 average isn't going to be 55, 65, 65, 55. It's going to be 20, 100. And that's, I guess, what I feel with Dearden. Like, I don't love his consistency with it when it comes to Tom Dearden. And you wanted to jump on before the big score came.
And also, Brimson has not been bad. We spoke about this on Sunday night. Like, everyone's saying Brimo's been bad. He hasn't. He's been quite good. Like, you look at his scores, and for the most part, his floor is like 50. So I think if I had to choose gun to head, it'd be Gutho to Drinky, because I'll admit that that's probably a trade I'd make if I didn't have Drinkwater this week. I'd probably be doing that. But yeah, I don't love Brimson to Dearden.
I wouldn't be making a trade. Like, if this is like your whole concern, I'd just be sweet. I'm going to book a trade up my sleeve.
I still love Drinky, to be fair. So I'd probably still do the Gutho to Drinky, but I can get around holding, to be fair. With the next one, Eric Scott, is it too early to get in King Togia? Obviously named in the 7. It's way too early. Yeah.
Sorry. I said most cook coaches in the league. I think Flano is like just above AOB. Like those three.
Yeah. Look,
I'm not gonna be shocked if like he's dropped next week. You know, it's just like a 1 week message. In saying that, they did resign him today. I'm still waiting for Gutho to get moved to 6. I'm waiting for that duel to come in.
Oh, tell me about it. That'd be great. Just my luck, I'd fucking move him and then he gets moved to 6 as well.
Look. I mean, what are we doing at 5'8"? Like, I assume that people are just selling a center, shifting Dewey down, or just like selling JC and getting King Toga and having like $1 million up their ass. But
probably,
nah, not for. I just think, I don't know. Also, how is Ilias getting dropped out of fucking him and Flanagan? Insane.
Let me tell you. Have you seen the last names?
Oi, what are the odds that they've signed Atkinson? He just plays 14 next year and Flano's still
imagine. Fuck. The second part of this question was if he could get King Togia, it would mean that he could upgrade Iongi and Kant to Drinky and Lucas. I can get around the Kant to Lucas. I mean, actually, no, I can get around both. But I don't know whether that would be justified by me getting King Togia early with that risk that he just nuffs out. In saying that, I'm sitting here with Latu Fainu at my 5'8" so don't listen to me about anything to do with halfbacks.
I think I've made my stance pretty clear on Iongi. Like, I think you've come this far. You got one glimpse at him with Moses, and he was fucking unreal. Yeah.
Fair play.
Same thing with Drinky, isn't it? Like, you'd rather predict the big score than jump on the back of it. Because as much as you love him, there could be, like, he was on 8 at half. Like, let's not forget he was on 8 at half time. You play the high variance. If for anything for any of you horse racing lovers out there, you always back the back marker. Yeah, it's great when he peels wide and beats the field, but sometimes he doesn't. Sometimes Drinky doesn't go from 8 to 132 and he finishes on 40.
Yep.
Whereas, I just think if you've held Iongi for the better part of 9 rounds, you've just seen him have one good game with Moses, logic to me doesn't say, oh, I've held it for 7 shit rounds, 1 good round, let's sell him.
Yeah, I get it. If you're going to move him last week, so you could take advantage of the points and the matchup. But yeah, I like the 2 upgrades. If you can find another downgrade, maybe Savala to make that work, then I probably prefer that. Yeah. Braden's asking any good downgrade targets this week, sitting 28k. We've spoken about Savala probably being the only genuine option this week. I'm not a huge fan of going on Billy Burns for 2 weeks and 2 trades. Sitting 28k and have been in the last few weeks, need to free up cash to get a gun fullback or a centre wing.
I know that you're not overly keen on old PNG superstar Robert Derby, but do you put any credence into the Kyle Felt role and the fact that they did hammer Felt when the Cowboys were singing, and now they are obviously singing a little bit?
Yeah, but they've been singing for 4 weeks. Why is this now miraculously the first time that he's done anything?
You know what
I mean?
I'm not keen either. I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah, no, it is a good question because he's a very popular buy this week. And for me, I'm just looking at it going, look, he's gone 20, 30, 40. He scored 48 with a try as well in the other game that he scored a try. So I'm looking at it going, okay, is he going to score a hat trick every week? No. I just feel like, Felt got great ball, but that's also Kyle Felt, right? Like Kyle Felt's a big prominent part of the attack, not Robert Derby. Like I feel like if they're going to be going and pushing, they're going to be going left. So, and they've shown that over the last month. So I don't know whether I want to react to one game and go, oh, they're going to go right now. It's too much of a risk for me personally.
I agree. Like, I do feel like some of these trade-ins, like if we look at, I don't know if there's a way to do it on my computer. I definitely know how to do it on my phone. But if you're looking at like most trade-in people, it is a lot of Billy Burns and Robert Derby, both Fermor. Like it just feels like we're jumping, not chasing last week's points because like Drinky's a good option. Fermor's a good option. Are they like elite options though? Like not for me.
It's Derby, Fermor, Drinky, Savala, Lucas are the top 5 most traded in players. And for the most part, I can get around 3 of them. But and then Teddy, Sandon Smith, Billy Burns, Moses, and Farnworth are the bottom 5 from the top 10. So
it just Sione for now. Perfect example.
Yeah.
You go early when you don't need to. And that's why I can't understand the King Togia buy. Like, we've just seen the coach drop a guy after a week.
Danger, that's for sure. Kyle Flanagan in fantasy, for those of you fantasy heads out there, who's going to very clearly get the kicking in game. I'm not a huge Flanagan fan, to be fair, but I think he'll take the majority of the kicking. So neither of them have a big boot, though. How are the Dragons going to go against the Tigers? They're going to need some good field position.
Val's going to have 600 kick meters.
He could just play a 5'8" kind of one off the ruck.
Penrith vibes.
Yeah, he honestly could. Honestly, I would not be surprised if that happens. Braden with the next one, still holding JC and Grant. What do I do there? Don't have any jewels to bring in anyone in any other. Oof, that's rough. Currently running Dewey and Sandon.
Positions too.
But to be fair, he's currently running Sandon Smith and Adam Dewey D. That's
210 points between them both last week.
Like honestly, just hold them both and just leave JC and Grant there. If you don't have the jewels and you can't move things around, you should obviously be able to move things around in trades with those positions. With JC having dual position fullback 5'8", but still. Just hold. JC is what, 2 weeks away?
Yeah, you pray sometime soon.
Then again, I don't trust Des at all to tell us what's going on injury wise when he said David Fafita's out this week for 4 weeks and then he's back. Surprise. Like
Yeah,
no. I'd say
I need a 5. I'm praying JC's back sometime soon because I've got Adam Dewey as my 5'8" one, which is great this week against the Dragons, and then it's the Manly. Then it's Melbourne Melbourne next week. So I'm like, I need a 5'8". So next week,
the duel could be handy if you have one of your centre wings kind of ready to.
Yeah, I've got a couple. I mean, I'm not selling Cobo fullback, but I've got like Tamale or Toya that can go, but most likely Toya, and I've still got a boost up my sleeve. I'm not boosting this week, so I might have one to bring in a a 5-8 next week, but 5-8 sucks. Might be bringing in the fiddler himself, so he might have to do.
The fiddler. We actually haven't said that once all year. Blaze is asking the best 3 to bring in using a boost this week, and he's got some options for us. So option 1, AFB, Lucas Hughes. Oh, he's got some money. Actually, to be fair, shout out to Blaze. He had 1.2 million in the bank, just sitting there in the bank. So he's spending that money this week, that's for sure. His second option is Iro, Garrick, or Katoa. Or me maybe combine them. Those are the 6 players he's looking at.
I'm trying to work out what positions we need. Because we've got a front row forward, a centre wing, and a halfback.
And then
2 centre wings and a halfback.
Centre wing, halfback. So there must be a flex in there somewhere.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm thinking like someone up top because AFB would be moved around with Horsburgh or like. I mean,
you're not bringing Garrick in this week because he's on a bye.
Yeah, that's also a big one. I love the Euro pick, just quietly.
Me too.
I'm so scared of a Hemi.
Yeah, I'm very tempted to do it.
Bring the Hemi boys in. Bring Lucas, Euro, and
who else
someone
is
else
out with the hammy. Fucking half the league's out with the hammy, so you can just pick someone.
I think Lucas,
Iro. Honestly, Lucas, Iro, AFB.
Yeah, hot. Because Hughes has the buy in 12, so you could probably fade.
AFB plays 12, misses 13. Katoa misses 12. AFB, Iro, Lucas all play 12. Send it. A-Train. Who is the better trade in, Marzhew or Sharpe?
Marzhew?
It's not clear cut. I mean, if
I
Sharpe
don't know Marzhew. I reckon he must be the most frustrating player to watch because he's like a basic away from 100 every week.
Yeah, he 49 should have been 120 nearly every week that he plays, but it ends up being 49.
Iro, Lucas, and Turbo.
Yes, yeah. Turbo, hammy, knee shelter. Just added in. We'd be here for a while if we started talking about injury history. I'm probably on the Marzhew train, but I love Sharpe as a pod. Like, to be honest, very, very tempted in the next 2 weeks to buy Sharpe and just load up on nights.
What did you bring him in?
Who?
Matty.
Bought him in. I think he bought him the week that he was away or off the pod or something. No, he was away in New Zealand or something, wasn't he? And he just randomly bought Sharpe that week. Yeah. And I randomly, when I was away for work, bought Herbie in. So it's just one of those weeks now, isn't it? Where if you go away, if you have a week off, you got to buy a random player.
Well, I mean, I bought Mulatalo and I was just stuck at home. So
fair. Corey in the chat also left us a couple of ones here. Thoughts on Savala? Yep, we love him. Considering Egan to Savala, is that worth it?
Also considering that move, so I can't talk ill will about it.
Love it. Lachlan's asking, would you consider Kickow a trade target? You were pretty keen on Kickow last week. Nothing's changed really.
Nah, still am. He's still very good at football. I could also bring him in. I might just go rogue. I'm literally looking at Lucas or Katoa, and I could just go really rogue with Kickow. I think he's like significantly cheaper than both of them. He is 590k. Plays the Titans.
Break even.
Break even is 72, which he could hit in a half football. He scored 68 last week against the Broncos. He's very rocks to diamonds. Does miss 13, which is my only concern. A lot of people with their trades are planning for 12, which is fine. Like you can bring in a Katoa, you can bring in a Hughes if they're missing 12, because I'm sure a lot of your trades are centered around making numbers for 12. But missing 13 for me is a big one. Misses 16 as well, which is even worse. Back-to-back mini buys out, so probably not. Now that I look at that, if you're good for numbers, by all means, go for it. But yeah, probably not now. Not that you have him for 4 weeks between rounds 9, 10, 11, 12. And then after that, you've got him for, 3 games out of the next 5.
I was originally not that keen on Kickout just due to the fact that I felt like things were going to regress a little bit back to what we know that he has done over the last couple of years. And I still kind of feel that way. But Burton being out this week maybe hurts him a little bit because maybe they go right a little bit more. But again, they're a right to left team. So
Dogs have one way of attacking and it's all down the left.
Yeah. Which is not good for Karaz.
With your, just be careful because round 13, there's a couple of prominent teams. Dogs are out. Dolphins are out, which is a pretty big one. If you've got a Plath, if you've got a Finafuiaki, if you've got a Herbie, if you've got a Sarko, and the Sharks are also out. So if you've got a Billy Burns, if he's still there, AFB, Eero, Hines, Brayley, they're out as well. Round 16, we'll quickly look at that one. Dogs are out again, so same thing. Your assets, Dragons, if no one owns Dragons assets, and Seagulls are out. So if Turbo is playing Origin, he's out 15, and then 16. Garrick's out as well. DCE, Olakawatu, and lastly, round 19. Bunnies, I don't think we're gonna have many Bunnies assets off the top of my head. Like maybe Latrell if he's bottomed out by 19. Cam Murray's done for the season. Colin Matungi's a shell of himself. You'd probably jumped off Members Ellis by then. That's probably it. Raiders is a big one. If Nicholson's playing 80, I see no reason why to sell him anytime soon. He's got the ceiling to be a keeper. Horsburgh, Tamale, Huddy Young. Huddy Young definitely because he's playing Origin the week before potentially. Starling as well, and then Seagulls again. So teams you really want to be avoiding assets from, just looking at this, is Origin players from the Roosters. I think they had a pretty dog
10, 12, 14, 15, 17, 18.
Dogs assets.
Because almost 12, 15, 18, and then 13, 16 as well, weren't they?
Yeah. And then definitely Origin assets from Manly. From Manly. And maybe
I don't think Turbo plays Origin.
No, but he then misses 16 and 19, which are pretty important.
So you can get him and front load him and just hope that he pops off in the next.
Oh, yeah, you'd probably just move off him. But yeah, I want to keep reiterating to people, like I think 13, 16, 19 are much more important than 12, 15, 18. Just because for anyone new to Supercoach, 12, 15, 18, you need to field 13 players. Doesn't matter what positions they are. It can be 13 players from front row forward, hooker, and 2RF. Whereas your 13, 16, 19 are full rounds, and there's 3 teams on the bye that week compared to 1 normally. So, yeah, just have a look at your bye planning for those weeks specifically.
Good shout. Second last one here, from Nathan. Who are the best cheapies this week? Savala. And what are some popular trades you will be steering clear from? All right, let's have a look.
Yeah, 100%.
Yep. So let me tell you the top 10 most popular trades. We've got Hiroti to Derby.
No.
No.
Hirotti's not losing you any money.
Yeah, you can honestly hold him this week if there's no one really popping out. Kant to Lucas, I'm all aboard that. That's fine. Jenkins to Derby, not overly keen.
Kant to Lucas is probably it, though. Like, Kant also not losing you money.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have force trades for Hiroti and Kant.
I mean, everybody's trading at Kant, Hiroti, Gutho, and Jenkins. They're the top 10 trades, basically.
You can make cases for all of them, can't you? Hiroti and Kant don't lose money. Gutho has a new inexperienced 6. And
Jenkins has no Casey McLean inside.
Casey McLean.
Mm-hmm. The trade-ins are Derby, Lucas, Drinky, Fermor, Savala in the top 10. So I think we've made it pretty clear we're not keen on Derby this week. I'm keen on Lucas. I like Drinky. Fermor, I can get around either not buying or buying. Savala is probably the cheapie of the week. I think we've made that pretty clear this week. Although he's not a slam dunk by any means. He's got 5 more games until Sam Walker comes back. So it's a very tricky week for trades if you're looking for a downgrade. If you honestly want to go I can get around a Willison, probably more than Josh can. I think I'm a little bit more keen on Willison. I know Matty is too. I think Matty might even be bringing Willison in this week, but he still has Jack Godds. So that's a bit of an easy decision to make.
I'm just worried that he plays like 50 minutes and that's it.
I think that's enough running on an edge at small halfbacks. So I'd be happy to make that. Yeah, I'd be happy to take that.
He's a big man.
Last one, Cameron, should we sell Ponga and King Gutho?
That's a question for you because you were doing both. At 8:30 last Sunday, you were set.
I was so angry. You know when you get to the end of Sunday, you're like, no, they're going. I'm getting rid of them. And now I'm like, I could probably hold both. Like, I'm a mess this week. Don't ask me, mate. Sorry, Cameron. I've got nothing for you. Ask the impartial man that doesn't have Gutho whether he would trade Gutho if he had him. No,
I would hold Gutho at least for a week, just see what it looks like. Also, in Earth league-shattering news that's just broken, Scott Sorensen has been unsuccessful in his attempt to have a grade 2 shoulder charge overturned, which I'm sure is...
That was the one off Nathan Brown when he ran off the back fence. Like, what the fuck is he supposed to do? Andrew Johns
look,
actually
Nathan
said,
Brown's running at you. You're probably just going to try and just move your head away from him.
Andrew Johns said, like, if I had Nathan Brown running at me, there is no way in the world I'm trying to wrap my arm around him because my pec would get blown off my body. And that's true. Like, you try and wrap, you blow your pec out.
There are two men that I've watched off the back fence I absolutely love. One of them is Royce Hunt. Nothing better than seeing Royce off the back fence, especially in the 53rd minute when he's just come on. And Nathan Brown.
Yeah. It's good viewing, that's for sure. I wouldn't like him running at me. That's not nice. Guys, that is all the questions for this week. Magic Round done and dusted. We've got the live preview for round 9 tomorrow, 8:30 p.m. We'll be live on YouTube, of course, and we'll be covering all the buy, hold, sells. We'll be looking at the targets for that week, but we'll be having a bit more of an in-depth chat around a lot of these, Robert Darby, what are the best downgrades? We'll be having a lot more structured conversation around maybe the hot topics of the week rather than wasting 20 minutes of time, thankfully, going through the ins and outs. So expect a more maybe in-depth chat on Wednesday night. We're looking forward to that one.
Also, two-man show for these ones moving forward.
Yep. Just so that we can get through questions much more effectively than having 3 people give their comments and their opinions. So you'll see a bit of a rotating roster on the Q&As and that, but you'll see us for the Sunday and the Wednesday show regardless. So guys, thanks for watching. Of course, if you're watching this one on replay and you didn't get to see it live and you're not a Patreon member, you can become a member by going into the description of this video or this audio, depending on where you're listening, and just click the link, become a member, less than $10 a month, and you can get access to everything that we offer. It's not just about trades. It's about seeing our teams, our captains, our ins and outs, as well as some draft stuff as well in the Patreon and tons more. So get involved and join the team. Thanks for watching, guys. We will see you tomorrow night for the live at 8:30 p.m. Catch you then.